Yo, this is Deontay the Bronx Bummer Wild, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. And I'd like to give a big shout out to CJ Goodfellow of Sports TV. Bomb Squad, baby.
Make sure to check out our sponsor, Cell Phone Buyers Recyclers. They want to buy your cell phone, old, broken, or you're just trying to get rid of it. You can contact them right at the number on the screen, text or call. Also, their social media and website is in the description if that's more convenient. If you share their social media accounts on social media, get a chance to win an iPhone. Go check them out. All right, let's kind of give our reaction to Top Rank breaking the ground on bringing boxing back during the coronavirus and during this whole pandemic and the quarantine. Appreciate everybody for checking in. I did miss one fight. I had to run to the grocery store. That was the first heavyweight fight, so I didn't see that one, but I believe Ramirez, the gold medalist that beat from Cuba, that beat Shakur Stevenson, excuse me. I think he fought first, and he didn't disappoint. He did what he's supposed to do. Still, he's still a little bit amateur for me. His shot's a little bit more loopy, but you could tell he getting better. He looking physically better. Seeing he got a little bit more bounce to his step. You see the athleticism, you see the talent, you see the speed, you see the power. Different from his first fight because I don't think he had enough time to recover. I thought, he thought he can just get off the boat, get a paycheck, and, beat the guy up. Didn't happen. He lost his first fight. Now he won his next three. People forget Bernard Hopkins. He lost his first fight, and so did Henry Armstrong. He lost his first fight, and, but he came back, bounced back. It was a quick pop, 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 boom, bop, bop, bop. He done. So that was quick work he made of him. So he should be able to get back in the ring in the next week or two and do it again. You know what I'm saying? And just build his resume up. But I don't think he's nowhere near ready for Shakur Stevenson yet. But he got with Ishmael Salas, and Ishmael Salas, the old Cuban coach. I like Pedro Diaz too, but I guess he's too stern. But he had Cotto in great condition to fight Floyd Mayweather, if you remember. But Ishmael Salas has Ugis, Udenish Ugas, Lara, and Ramirez, and he got a few other fighters. So if you didn't know, Lara did leave Ronnie Shields, and he went to Vegas with Ishmael Salas. So shout out to Ramirez for handling business. I ain't writing him off. One loss ain't shit. Wipe yourself off, get up, and he doing it again. 3 straight wins for him now. And then I think Quatavious Cash was another fight. He fought the dude, Metcalf, who just, he should just cut it off. You know what I'm saying? But Quatavious Cash was part of the new contender. I didn't watch it at all. I know a lot of other brothers was talking about it, and they was watching it. I watched the last fight between Shane Mosley Jr. and Brandon Adams, and obviously Brandon Adams went on a challenge for a world title versus Jamal Charlo, and he went the distance. And Quatavious Cash I guess he's signing with Top Rank now. It's his first fight. He a middleweight, but I don't see him being the world champion. I just don't see it. He caused the cut. He boxed well. But I just don't see it. It just seemed that he's not technical enough for me. He just don't have enough of something. Maybe enough power, maybe enough just technique. Just seemed like he missing something, you know what I'm saying? He just missing something to be, world champion level. But maybe with Top Rank behind him and giving him the best amenities and coaches and money for sparring partner, maybe he'll step it up. But I really wasn't impressed. He did what he was supposed to do. He wasn't supposed to let Metcalf continue to back him up all day. I'd like to see him hold his ground, push forward, and sit down his shots a lot. And then maybe it was just because he didn't have a great camp or enough time to prepare. And I will talk about the overall experience at the end. That'll probably be the longest part of the video. But, maybe that's what it was. But it just seemed like he didn't have a lot of mustard on his shots. It just, I think I would like to see him sit down on his shots. It's cool to box and move for a minute, but sometimes you got to hold your ground. And you got to make dudes back up and respect you, and you got to make them back up. You got to make them fold them up. He should have been going to the body a lot earlier. I believe he said he watched Joe Louis and all those other guys. He should have been going to the body, and he should have been forcing Metcalf to back up, especially when that cut opened up. But they did stop it on cuts. Like I said, the Mikaela Meyer fight fell off the card because she had a positive COVID test, and she said it was a false positive. But I'm going to talk about all the interviews and stuff at the end. I missed the other heavyweight fight, but then the real big baby was Jared Anderson from Toledo got in there. He did what he had to do. Was he 20 years old? He showed a lot of promise. You know, we got the Damian Rock guy from Philadelphia. I don't know how he doing or who he's signing with, but we got a couple, Americans that we looking forward to coming up. And he leading the charge, okay? Big baby. He put in some work yesterday. He got hit with a couple shots. But once again, nobody timing is right. He's showing that he can dig to the body. He's showing he can work off the jab. He got the size. He going to continue to get bigger and stronger. It seemed like he a gym rat. He with Albert Bell and Pilot McQuarrie, the whole Toledo boys. You got Easter Jr. And I got a lot of respect for them. That's basically local. You know what I'm saying? Us in Toledo is like right there next to Detroit, man. So he did what he had to do. He took dude out. He knocked him out. He took some shots. Obviously, he can get better, but hey, we got to switch hitting heavyweight. The only other heavyweight I know that switch with hit that's active is Tyson Fury from time to time. And I wonder what the excuse gonna be for people not to like Big Baby. You know what I'm saying? Because they say water is sloppy, water, water this, water that. And if Big Baby able to continue to pass the test, and the Rockhead from Philadelphia able to pass the test, what's gonna be the excuse for them not to like them? They'll find another excuse. They'll nitpick to go against the grain of Anderson, to go against the game of Damian Rock as well too. He coming up as well, so he did a great job last night. He looked good, gave us some hope. So we got somewhat of a farm system for the heavyweights. At one point, the farm system was Brian Jennings. The farm system was Deontay Wilder. They never fought, but they had a lot of beefs. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times they run into each other in the radio stations, and a lot of people thought Brian Jennings was going to go ahead and be the better heavyweight, and Deontay Wilder just took off on him. So I remember those days. So look forward to the young heavyweights. We have adopted FN Jabba as well. In the UK, they had Nathan Gorman. Dean Du Bois took him out the game. So we in a position where we got some really, really good two solid heavyweights, and hopefully we able to continue to build them up. But the main event was Shakur Stevenson and Caraballo, and Shakur made easy work of him. I was talking to somebody on the phone, and we were saying that he just carried him. You know what I'm saying? Stevenson was trying to get rounds in. He could have went to the body and took this dude out. This dude just wasn't stable enough. Didn't look like he had a good camp. Didn't look like he came in shape. Couldn't take the punishment. Shakur Stevenson looked like he filled out very, very well at 130. I think he got some room to really, kind of get a little bit more, stronger and masculine. But he looked good at 130. He carried the weight well. He seemed like his punches came off. Chris seemed like he preserved his body well. He preserved his skills well. It seemed like he really, really good. He got touched a little bit, but that's what happened when a boxer don't stay active. It's very important for a boxer, puncher, slick fighter to stay active, because if they don't stay active, then they really, his game is really predicated on reflexes, time, and distance. And those are some of the three things that go first when you're not active. You know what I'm saying? So, last night, he stopped him to the body in the 6th round, I believe it was. He was just beating them up, picking them apart. He was just getting rounds in and carrying them, just to get those rounds in. But Shakur Stevenson, he looked good last night as we expected, and accurate. Body punching was good, strong at 130. I don't see him going back to 126. Josh Warrington don't want to fight him. But, yeah, it was a good fight. But it was overall, it left a lot to be desired. But guess what? It was a test run. Top-ranked ESPN and the UFC is setting the precedence on how other boxer companies and combat sports companies going to come back. So, at the end of the day, you didn't get the best product, but this is the best they can give you, because these dudes didn't have a lot of time to prepare. A lot of these dudes took this offer because they needed the money, you know what I'm saying? And also, they needed to stay in the rhythm, and Top Rank needed a product to put on. So as these cards progress in the next few 3 or 4 or 5 weeks, you're going to get to the point where you're going to get the Ramirez and the Postal. You're going to get, a Yeuri and a Adamalo, whatever his name is. You're going to get better fights. Trust me. But they gotta run this test. So if somebody tests negative positive, they got to have a protocol. So this is pretty much the test run. And, as other companies see how the Top Rank knock out the kinks, then you'll see boxing come on. Then you see better fights with no audience, a limited audience. And hopefully at one point we get boxing with a full audience. But as far as the overall broadcast, I think it was well. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how many people recorded their voice for they cheers to go on TV. I mean, some people probably thought that was cheesy. I was talking to somebody last night. They said they thought it was cheesy as well. But, they talked about what's going on in the world with George Floyd. And I think Timothy Bradley pretty much stole the show saying that he got pulled over when he let his son pick the car to drive to school, and they pulled him over, and he told his son they got pulled over by 3 or 4 cop cars because they was black. They talked about the state of the heavyweight division. They talked about a lot of things. They interviewed Mikaela Myers. She was talking about how she thought her COVID test was a false negative. But the one thing, let's break it down to positives and negatives. Let's talk about the negatives. The negatives was it really wasn't no competitive fights. It was one-sided fights. It was guys that was there just to get a check and just to get beat on. I think Metcalf, out of the fights I've seen, I didn't see the first heavyweight fight. Metcalf seemed to be the most competitive out of all of them versus Quatavious Cash. But it was a lot of lackluster fights, but the commentary was good. There was no problem with the audio from what I heard. I could hear Tim, I could hear Andre, I could hear Joe Testator. I enjoyed the commentary experience. I enjoyed the layout. To me, it really wasn't boring without watching fences. I don't listen to the audio a lot of the time. So I listened to the audio today because they had a lot of things lined up. So if these fights went fast, and they know they would, they had commentary ready. They had blocks ready to talk about what's going on with George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. Jared Anderson, the big baby, and Shakur Stevenson, they had the Black Lives Matter shirts on. You got a lot of females going around here saying we showing George Floyd love. Ahmaud Arbery, bro. Nobody talking about Breonna Taylor. They had Breonna Taylor picture on their back. You know what I'm saying? So, it was a lot of little nuances going on. Obviously, I like the setup with the pictures and the cages, and obviously Bob Aaron was there, and he's passing around sanitizer, and he said anybody vote for Trump, drink the sanitizer. So, the negatives were obviously a lot of people said there was no crowd noise. It was a lot of lackluster, and the fights wasn't competitive. Okay, but other than that, it really wasn't no other negatives that I can really point out. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. As far as the positives, one, it was boxing. I think the commentary and the technical part they did well on. It really wasn't nobody cutting in and out. Mark Kriegel did his job with no issues. Ward did his job. Tim did his job with no issues. Joe Testator did his job with no issues. It was like they was there. You know what I'm saying? The setup was sweet. The lighting was sweet. You know what I'm saying? They interviewed them. They had the Black Lives Matter shirts on. At the interview section, they all walked out. So, it was a lot of positives for how people can set it up without having fans in there. It was a lot of positive. They sanitized the ring after each fight. You know what I'm saying? And like I said before, the referees did their job. They stopped the fight on that Quatavious Cashwell with that cut. So, at the end of the day, this is just the groundwork. You know what I'm saying? This is the beginning. So they gonna crawl for and eventually walk, and they gonna crawl for a lot of companies to come out here and run and run and run and run. So I look forward to that. Miles barking at the Pride of Male Woman. But hey, appreciate everybody for checking in. Let me know what you guys think about the card last night and what you think about the fights. What was your favorite fights? And obviously we got a fight coming on Thursday. Weigh-in should be today. So they're gonna do 2 or 3 fights a week. I think we're going to be fighting pretty soon. Revede is going to be fighting pretty soon. I know the Golden Boy's supposed to come back July 4th, but, Ryan Garcia wasn't happy with a $200,000 lowball offer. Said he'd make more money outside of boxing with his endorsement. So that ain't never good when the boxing checks is lower than endorsement checks, and you the third highest viewed fighter on his own, according to him. He really was talking about Triple G. And he also got at Gervonta Tank Davis in that tweet yesterday. But, they talked about Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia. They talked about everything in boxing yesterday. And that's how I like it. I don't like the segregation in boxing where, oh, man, we only can talk about top-ranked fighters. We only talk about PBC fighters. We can talk about the zone fighters. So, I pretty much enjoyed it yesterday. I thought it could be it was a lot to be desired as far as in the ring, but they got to start somewhere. So, they're going to make their adjustments and modifications as they go. And once they get it right, you'll see PBC the zone, and they'll be able to take off a really, really good fight. So we'll see what happens. Appreciate everybody for checking in. Don't forget we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you got business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. Keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation to the channel, Cash App, PayPal description. The best way to donate is share the video. Want to make a donation to the channel, Cash App, PayPal description. Personally, Hey, hit that share button for me, man. Please, that's the best way you can help me and my channel grow, to share videos. Appreciate the love, support. One time for the one time. Y'all know what the business is. Goodfellas Sports TV. It's your boy CJ Goodfella. And don't forget, check out the channel out if you like, or you just want to support what I'm doing. Detroit content, Motor City Sports Talk right here on YouTube. That's Motor City Sports Talk. We gone.